I'm Dr. Whitney Miller, and I am Assistant Director at the AVMA's Governmental Relations Division, and I'm responsible for lobbying on behalf of the Association to Congress and regulatory agencies on animal welfare issues.
How would you describe the AMA position regarding the PAST Act and the necessity for it?
The AVMA is one of the bill's strongest supporters. We really want this bill enacted, and we have every state veterinary medical association on board as well supporting this bill.
Well, as veterinarians, do you think there's any majority understanding about this stacked pads and heavy shoes and chains? Do you think there's an understanding among your members that this is going on?
You know, we've done a lot of education and outreach with our members over the past few years about soaring and the pads and the chains. AVMA and the American Association of Equine Practitioners came out with a statement in 2012 opposing the use of these stacked pads and chains in the walking horses.
Do you view that as part of the soaring phenomenon?
Absolutely. While the chains and the pads in and of themselves are not causing the soaring, they are a means and an incentive to soar the horses, because there's no reason to put a chain on the lower leg if you haven't soared it with a chemical. And those stacked pads are just a way to hide the bolts and other ways of physical soaring that they're doing to the horses.
Do you think it's possible that a horse can still be sored and pass a traditional inspection if thermography and chemical swabbing aren't used?
Unfortunately, yes, because the folks that are doing the soaring have become very good at hiding what they're doing. So they've done different things to pass the inspection so that the horses can get through and still show. They use, like you said, foreign substances that may numb the legs or other ways to hide the ways that they are soaring.
What is this thing about? Is it schooling, or what do they do where they train the horses not to flinch?
It's called stewarding, and what they're doing is they're training the horse that if they flinch or show any signs of pain during the inspection, that they're going to have negative ramifications. So they teach the horse that if they flinch, bad things are going to happen. So the horses know not to flinch during the exam.
Well, the industry is very critical about digital palpation as a way of detecting soaring. They call it matching the horse's foot until they flinch. Do you think that digital palpation can be a useful technique, or would it be better eliminated and we went completely to technical procedures like thermography and digital x-rays?
Well, as a veterinarian, you know, part of our assessment of any animal is the physical digital palpation, just like your doctor would examine you if you went to the doctor. So we still feel it is an important, very important tool for detecting the soaring.
Are you surprised about the large support today for the passage of the PAST Act?
Absolutely not. As you've heard, we have a majority of both members in the House and the Senate that support this bill. We have hundreds of organizations and individuals that have come on and endorsed the legislation, and this is just yet another showing of how much support there is for this legislation and how many people want it enacted.
Now, several congressmen in the core of the Big Lick area have introduced another piece of legislation, sort of a counter bill.
Right.
Could you support that, or if not, why not?
The AVMA is opposed to the alternative legislation, and there's many reasons that we are opposed, but the main reason is it does not fix the inherent problem in the current enforcement system, which is that the industry is allowed to self-police. That's the system that needs to change, and the alternative bill only bolsters that instead of stopping it.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Just to say that the AVMA has been opposed to soaring for decades, ever since even before the Horse Protection Act came into being, and we want to support the PAST Act so that we finally see this abusive practice end.